Welcome back to another video. I'm Rendon with TJ Free, and in this video I want to show you 5 free and open source racing games that you can download and start playing today. I'm running all these on Windows. They also work on Linux, and I believe some of them work on Mac. Check out the details in the description of this video. But these games are Speed Dreams, Torx, V-Drift, Trigger Rally, and Tux Kart. And so the first game we'll be looking at is Speed Dreams. This game aims to be a realistic racing game, so they put a lot of emphasis on realism when it comes to the physics engine, when it comes to different sounds, also colliding with other vehicles and objects. So you can choose different vehicles, there's different tracks and racing you can do, and every vehicle handles differently and performs differently as you would expect from a realistic racing game. So this has definitely an emphasis on just realism in general. There's not a lot of extra types of racing or like driving around town or something like in GTA or something. It's just like racing against other cars. It does have support for multiplayer, so you can have up to 4 players on split screen. And there's also in development an online multiplayer being developed, option to play online with your friends. So a really cool game. This next one, Torx, is actually the original that the last game Speed Dreams split off of. So they kind of are going to have some similarities. You can see that they have a lot of different graphics, and actually the games, it's been about a decade now since they've split, and so they've developed in different ways. But Torx also has the goal of becoming a very realistic game engine, and actually companies have used this, like car companies and different types of businesses have actually used this game engine to do simulations and research. You can do different tracks. You get some cool dirt tracks here. Like here's a dirt track I'll show you. Again, you have that realism when you're colliding with other vehicles. It's not pure entertainment. It's actually has a focus on realism, immersion, making you feel like you're really in the game. Both these, the last two we looked at, have good support for joysticks and playing with different input devices. This next game, V-Drift, is a pretty cool game, and as you can tell by the name Drift in the name of the game, it has an emphasis on drift racing. So you can customize, choose your car, you got different tracks, different areas you can race in, so you got basically a lot of emphasis has been put into the drift mechanics of this game. So drifting, this is pretty cool. There's even the AI in this are pretty crazy, like they crash and stuff and do some crazy things. The graphics on this one compared to the last two we looked at are not as high of quality. You've got different views that you can do, but yeah, drifting. So if you're familiar with that, what are some of the games that do that? Like some of the Need for Speed games have some cool drifting involved in it. Anyway, I didn't play this game a whole lot, but it's a fun one. Like I said, lots of different tracks, lots of different vehicles. This next game, Trigger Rally, is a pretty fun game. So this one actually has an online version that you can play, or you can download it. You can create your own maps. They made it very easy to create your own tracks. This has different waypoints, and so it's sort of like the game, or the goal is to follow this track, and so it gives you instructions for what to do. If you get off the track, it'll give you a penalty. Like this here, we've got a warning, you got to get back through, you got to get into the waypoint. So this is more like the old school, like Cruising USA a little bit. Not as much emphasis on realism, but just more like fun and playability and cool graphics. And there's different I think this has some different game modes too, in addition to just racing. I mean, it's all racing, but yeah. So it's a fun game. The last game I want to show you is Super Tux Kart. This is going to be very similar to Mario Kart, Super Mario Kart, those games, or Diddy Kong Racing. So you drive around this little cart. Very similar if you're familiar with those games. We've got the Mozilla Thunderbird here, the ref. All the different characters are mascots of different open source projects, which is cool. Really cool, lots of different tracks. It just has that very, kart game, racing game feel to it. You get different items. It also has different modes. So here's a soccer game mode where you try and get the soccer ball in. You've got different battle modes where you try and just not necessarily racing, you try and destroy the other cars. But this is a soccer game. There's also a version that does a like ice hockey. Here's the ice hockey version where it's not like the soccer. So lots of different game modes. There's also a story mode associated with this, where you can go through and unlock different carts and different tracks. And it's just kind of a story mode, which is something unique to Tux Kart, Super Tux Kart. This is like a little cutscene of the story mode, what you would go and you kind of go through, sort of like, you know, you do races and try and complete different quests to unlock these different tracks. I hope you've enjoyed this video. These games are a lot of fun. I hope you download and play them. You know, check them out. And just remember, these are open source and free games, so they're not just free price-wise, but they also respect your freedom as a user. You can get in and modify these games. The code is completely transparent. You can get in there and read it and review it if you're a coder, and so you know exactly what this software is doing on your computer, which is a great benefit of using open source software. Again, go ahead and like, subscribe if you like these videos. Check out more, and I will catch you in the next video.